All right, next question.
All right. So I would like to ask you about for abortions, right? How do we explain to those who are for it? How do we explain that even I don't know if you believe this or not, but in terms of like a rape or unintentional or really unconsented pregnancies, can we say that we should still be anti-abortion in that scenario?
Yes.
What's your grounds for that? And how would I explain it to someone else?
Sure, it's a good question. Let's say I have 2 ultrasounds here. One is an ultrasound of a baby from a loving marriage. The other one is a baby conceived in rape. Which one is which?
We can't exactly tell.
So they're both human beings?
Right.
They both deserve human rights.
Okay. But then what is if someone pushes back against with the idea... Do I...
Closer, yeah.
Oh. What is if someone pushes back with the idea that now, in terms of the mother, right, one of them was willingly conceived while the other one was a forced conceived?
Yeah, I mean, that's a fair argument. The question then should be, when, if ever, in your moral universe, is it okay to do something evil after an evil act to try to make that evil act correct?
But how about in terms of, what if we're in the position of the mother, and she is, I don't want to take the risk of illness, death, or whatever to have this child.
Sure, so it's a little bit of a false choice because they're acting as if the termination of the pregnancy will have no consequences or costs. A lot of women that get abortions have regret. Women die when they get abortions. They have a lot of their health issues. It's not just like getting a haircut. So it's a little bit of a false choice. But we come after it from a very basic moral argument. There are 2 lives involved. There's a little life and a grown life. And no one has the right to eliminate a human life in utero, period.
So then, at that point, now we're forcing someone to do something that they never consented to, never wanted to do. How isn't this violating their human autonomy?
Well, again, but eliminating the human being would also violate the baby's autonomy too, wouldn't it?
Well, then we would have to ask, right? Maybe in future years we will have the technology to be able to extract a fetus and grow a fetus outside of the uterus, but given our state of medicine right now, we do not have that.
Sure. I mean, but again, no one is delighting or rejoicing in these circumstances. I mean, it's a terrible situation. I want to reiterate that. But you have a unspeakably difficult choice that is very morally, clear though, which is that you don't eliminate a human being because an awful action happened.
Are you saying that as someone who can get, well,
Genesis 1:27. So God created human beings in his own image. In the image of God, he created them. Male and female, he created them. Charlie emphasizes that every human life, born or unborn, bears God's image, making abortion a violation of the sacred value God places on each person.
I guess my pushback against that would be then if we say that it's entirely wrong, right? We're sacrificing someone's choice for someone's life, which is admirable, but
it's also morally correct. You don't get to murder someone smaller than you if it makes your life difficult.
But then we can't exactly see. The fetus does not have autonomy. It cannot exist outside of the uterus quite yet.
Human dignity does not correlate with dependency. So dignity and dependency are not 2 things corrected. You have human dignity because you're a human being, not because how dependent you are.
So would you say that viability happens when...
Viability is irrelevant.
So then at what point does human life begin then?
Conception.
Conception, not even sperm or
conception.
eggs? Okay.
That's conception. That's
well, I just wanted to get
when an egg is fertilized. When an egg is fertilized, human life begins.
Okay, so then when it's still a single cell with both chromosomes pairings, right?
Well, it creates new DNA, right? So once the sperm and egg meet, literally something magical and inexplicable happens where new DNA is formed.
Okay, and then what happens? So then
it attaches to the uterine wall, and I can go through the whole gestational process.
All right, so then we have the basis of human life. Now, what is if within the uterus, now that life is still alive, but is unable to proceed to, like, let's say, actual birth due to some medical situation that has happened?
Well, has the baby died without outside intervention or with outside intervention?
Let's say that
is it an ectopic pregnancy, or what? You got to be very clear about the type of.
The amniotic sac has
That's
ruptured.
an ectopic pregnancy, right? So
Right.
yeah, you can remove the baby from that situation without aborting it. The baby will die outside of the womb, but you
Right.
do not have to abort it. So those are two different things. The removal of a baby is what's called the cesarean section. You can do that very early on. Now, ectopic pregnancy is very real. It's very terrible, but you can solve an ectopic pregnancy outside of having an abortion.
But okay, so then what creates an abortion? Is it the heartbeat, the removal of the fetus? What exactly
Well,
is
so
that?
I don't want to go too deep in this. Do you know what happens in an abortion? I mean, maybe you don't. They literally will break the back of the baby's skull, right? They will insert to the back a syringe of cyanide poisoning until the baby no longer. I mean, this is one of the most gruesome things. Everyone who's pro-choice, in my opinion, has a moral obligation to watch a video of an abortion just to know kind of what you're supporting. It's so beyond inexplicable. But yeah, look, really quick, what's the final question on this? Because I want to keep moving.
Oh, sure. So you didn't really finish the question of when can we do that procedure, right? If there's still a heartbeat,
I don't think we should ever do that procedure.
what happens if like now the mother's life is going to die in like the
Well,
next
it depe-
15
it depe-
minutes, but the baby is still having a heartbeat? What do we do
It
at that
depends
point?
on, again, I don't want to speak to every specific. Some OBGYNs say abortion is never medically necessary. I'm not a professional enough to say that. But it depends how far advanced the woman is. If she's past 22 weeks, have a cesarean section. Try to have the baby live in NICU.
So there are situations where abortions are okay, right?
Well, no, I'm not even saying okay. Again, I don't know enough about some OBGYNs that they can defend their statement here. They will say abortion is never medically necessary. I'll allow them to defend that. I don't know enough about the details there to be able to say that.
So you're saying that you do not have a statement of whether abortions can never be true or always?
It is murder. Whether or not an OBGYN can prove to me, of which there's a lot of debate, it is ever medically necessary. So take, for example, if a baby is 26 weeks and the baby's, the mom's life is in danger, deliver the baby by C-section. Don't terminate the baby. Does that make sense?
Yes, I
The baby can
see.
survive outside of the womb.
Okay, at that point, yeah.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it. Next question.
Hey everyone, I got big plans coming up for this channel. More commentary, some interviews, and eventually it's going to be to go to biblical sites and do videos there on the history of the Bible. We're talking Sodom and Gomorrah, Mount Sinai, walking Jesus' footsteps, and there's two things I need to do that. One, of course, God Almighty, and the second one is you, so hit that subscribe button.